Eagle Talk fam, what up?
Hey, welcome back.
Yes, welcome back. I am joined again by my homegirls, real estate besties, whatever you want to call them. And I know that you got to know them in the last episode, but here with Shelyna.
Hey.
And Tenesha.
Hey, y'all.
And y'all, we are going to just continue the conversation about what would we tell our younger self. And look, Shelyna was giving us life in the last episode, and she had 3 points. And I just want you to recap all three because we left off on the last one about what you would tell your younger self. And girl, this was just good. This is
let me see if I can remember.
Oprah, are you watching us?
Look, you need your notes.
You need your notes.
So the first one is one of them was be okay with rejection, accept rejection. The first one was dang it,
it's not your fault.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Yes, that's what I had to tell my younger self was this is not your fault. And that last one was build your own table. And you want me to go into that one?
Yeah, let's go into build your own table.
When I got into business, I felt like I had to be accepted. And in order to be accepted, I had to adapt to what I saw. I had to dress how someone else dressed. I had to do business how they did business. And I had to wait for what some people would say would be the tap on the shoulder. What I'm discovering now, I don't need you to tap me. I don't need you to invite me. If I'm not there and I want to do it, let me go to Lowe's, Home Depot, grab that nail, grab that hammer, grab some wood, and I'm going to build my own. And so it took me a really long time to realize that. And a lot of people, especially when they get into business, they start looking at influencers and they start feeling like that's what they have to do. When they're only showing you, they're only showing you surface level. They're not showing you that they have 0 transactions. Let's talk about it.
How many? They got 32,000 subscribers and like no transactions.
And let me. So it's so funny. The other day, I was shooting a video at one of my friends' listings for a class that I'm teaching, and there was somebody's shoes in the study, and so I took a picture and I said, "Hey, are these yours? I'm gonna just move them." She's like, those ain't mine. I don't know who it is. Long story short, turns out another agent
within
went to the
house,
property without her permission and was doing videos as if it was her listing. And so you fall for this stuff because I went to the agent's post and I'm looking at the comments and I'm like, okay, girl, all right. But you might want to go ahead and give that agent credit.
Right.
So I'm looking and I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that. And I want to make it clear, there's nothing wrong with going and doing content. But at the same time, when you start perpetrating that it's yours, that you had that appointment, that you secured, they're telling you what they want you to believe in order for you to hit like. And I had to learn the hard way that I don't need you to believe in me. If God put it in me, I'm going to use it.
You already have it.
Because if I don't, I'm being disrespectful to what the gift was God gave me by waiting on you.
Yes. I mean, like, okay, so many gems there. But I think about your kid. We all are moms. And if I give my kid a gift, right? Right now, one of the Corys, the Corey that's my son, he wanted, he's 22 and I still buy my baby gifts. And he wanted the AirPod headphones for his birthday and I got them for him. Do you know how mad I would have been though? Like if after I gave him those headphones, he went and tried to pick up somebody else's stuff, you know, and I think that's the way that God is. He's like, I created you. And if there's one thing I would tell myself, like, God will make rooms for your gifts where he places you.
Right.
And of course we all are in real estate. And I really think real estate really like is a hard check. It can feel so competitive. It can feel like all these things until you are comfortable in who you are.
Exactly.
Right.
You have
exactly.
When you're comfortable in who you are and when you understand that I will never do it like Tenesha Lusk. Right. I didn't try it.
What? We didn't know
that. I'll never do it like Shelyna. Right. Try that. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'll never do it. But can we come together and learn together? Can we mastermind? Can we see can I see from an honest heart, not from a envious heart, but like what's working for you in marriage, in business, in all these things, and see what I can glean. Yes, but that's totally different than trying to become who you are. And then this is the next thing when it comes to that, which I think also applies to knowing to what I would say to my younger self, is like, you are doper than you think you are.
Yeah.
Right. And I do think that I know I spent a lot of time just trying to figure out my worth. And I judged my worth. Like for the longest, I would tell Corey, and I can talk candidly about my husband because y'all all know Corey on Eagle Talk. But I would just, I'm like, you don't even love me. Like, what do you need to do to love me? Like, and I mean, he could have been a little bit more affectionate back then. However, but he was figuring his stuff out, right? His junk out. So what I was looking for him and what I didn't feel like I was receiving, first of all, I was looking to the wrong person. I should have been looking to Christ for fulfillment. And honestly, that's where it came from. It didn't come from like one day Corey flipped a switch. One day I started trying to figure out who God was. Then figuring out who God was, I figured out who he created, which was me. And by finding fulfillment in that, then other things, you know, I could see my value and it wasn't in man. But I spent so much time sizing myself up based on what she doing, what he doing, what he think about me, what she got, what he got, what all that is. And when I finally got to the point, and to Tanisha's point, continuing to remind myself, because there are still some days where I have to be like, that don't mean like if she's struggling, Rosemary, you shouldn't feel better. And if she balling, you shouldn't feel worse, right? None of what anybody else has going on dictates my value or my gifts, but that's continually reminding myself. And I think that it's really natural, especially I think in the world, but we live in an industry where it looks different, where it's just easy to size yourself up.
I mean, it is when you get into this business, your perception of this world is like, oh, you have to, like you say, look like this person, drive this car, be like this. But people, okay, you guys, like this is a whole nother level. Anytime God gives you a blessing, he's giving you a blessing because of who you were. Yeah. Right? He didn't give you a blessing for you to come through this door and be like, okay, now it's time for you to change.
Right.
Yeah. Because now that blessing ain't gonna work. It's just like taking a old grandmother recipe and saying, okay, grandmother says, hey, I'm gonna give you this recipe, and you cook it and it turns out the way that grandma made it, but then you go in there trying to change and trying to add a little spice to it. And grandma's looking at you like you're a hot mess.
And that's the thing about that table is sometimes people want positions. And I figured I was going for a leadership position, and the person that was selected over me was just like me. There's only one difference. I'm gonna say what the difference was. And when I started to reflect, I said, all right, God, well, I'm just going to sit around and wait to be invited to a table. And he's like, why? Yeah. Look, girl, I done gave you this, and this, and you don't want to use any of it? You're waiting on what that person's going to give you? Right. No. I have gifted you with the ability to use your mouth and talk. I have gifted you with the ability to think. You want someone else to think for you. No, go grab some wood and build your own table. Create your own path. So when I talk to agents and they say, well, I want to do business like Tenesha. I want to do business like Rosemary. Okay, no. You see the now. You don't see the work. You don't want the work. And I've actually had agents say this. We were on a call and the agent, the guy said, yeah, I had 10 pending, but he told them what he did. He said, I had the call and I did 1,500 calls a week. And she said, okay, that's good. But how can I get to the 10 pending without doing all of that?
I don't know how to tell you to do that.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
Listen, I don't know who it was, but I was with somebody who I really like their body. It was a girl. I can't remember what girl it is. A friend or whoever.
I like girl because they nothing but cheeseburger and cheesecake.
Whatever. But whomever it was, I remember being with them and I was like, oh, you deserve your body. Because of how they were, what they were doing.
Their discipline.
Their activities match the results, right?
There you go.
And I made the decision right then and there, like, God bless you. You know what I'm saying? I might get closer, but I'm not going to get that close. And to your point, a lot of, and I think our younger selves, but even our older selves, we, like for some of us, it's easy. Like for me, it's easy for me to, in certain areas of my life, it's easy for me to look at a situation and be totally content. Like,
oh, yes.
I look there. But if I'm being honest, there are areas of my life where I'm still kind of like, but God, why them? And he to your point, because fool, you ain't went yet. I already got
you know what? You know what's good to that? To what you just said, sometimes God is not ready to give us something yet because we're not ready. Yeah. And it's that moment where we're not ready and we try to, we beg and say, but give me, I want it now. And it's like, if I give it to you now, it will destroy you. you are not ready for it. And so I got a question for Rosemary.
Or destroy the gift that was given to you.
Exactly. Or destroy other people.
Listen, I tell people all the time. So how long were you dating your husband when y'all got married?
Oh, 3 years.
3 years. How about you?
I don't even remember. We've been married for like 26 years.
But how long was y'all dating?
I don't know. Like a few months.
Okay.
No.
Before you got married?
Before we got married, my son was almost 1 year old. So
a 1 year?
So at least
Okay.
a year and the month she was pregnant.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
yes.
So me and Corey were dating 11 years.
Oh my goodness. Before you got married?
Listen, 11 years. We were together 11.
Oh,
now,
you can't do that in Texas. That's common law.
now,
Y'all was married and didn't even know.
Y'all see that Tenesha side coming out?
I started off, I met him when I was 15. We got married like a month before I turned 26. And I just say that to say, y'all, me and Corey have talked about it. I have friends getting engaged and I'm judging them like, you just met him 3 years ago. Or you just like, I wanted to be married so bad. Now our relationship was raggedy.
Right.
Raggedy. We had a kid. It was raggedy. I wasn't worried about the fact that it's raggedy and if we really gonna be together, what does that look like?
You just wanted the gift.
I just wanted to be married, right? To the point, like sick to my stomach. And it was in your early 20s, I'm getting invited to be in weddings. Oh, baby. It was a mess. But I just say all that to say, I was so busy and focused on what other people were doing and that it should be time. If God would have allowed me and Corey to get married when I wanted to, when I was like 21, we would not be together.
I'm telling you. He's protecting you by keeping things from you.
It's just like giving a toddler a cell phone.
Yeah.
They don't know. They don't know
it.
the value of the gift, right? So it's just that. Like you wanted the gift, but you didn't know the value of the gift. And if God would have gave it to you, it would have been.
It would have
been hell in a handbasket.
Yeah. So I got a question for you, Rosemary.
Okay.
Where you are now in your business, and I mean, this is amazing. You're doing the podcast, you're doing the YouTube.
And I feel like it's just all right. But
and see, that's what we be talking about. Because if y'all seen this set up here, what is something? So we talked about going back and talking to the little Rosemary. What about the Rosemary of 6 months ago?
Oh, well,
what would you go back and tell her?
Girl, 6 months ago, I lost my mama 6 months ago. So 6 months ago to the day that we're recording this was today. I was watching my mom die. We were at home on hospice. And what I would tell myself, honestly, I don't think I would tell her anything different than what she was, because in that moment, you never really know. To me, you never really know who you are until tough times. Like tough times is when you really are presented with who you are. And in that moment, like I was thinking the most random stuff, but I was thinking like, Lord, I'm so grateful that I did it scared.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to say that, but like I literally was thinking like, I'm so grateful that I quit my job, that I went into real estate, that I went to Texas, because watching my mom die, I had zero regrets, right? Knowing that I was going to miss her. I still miss her. Knowing, like it's weird to know that this person who has been with me forever, that this was coming to an end. But I fully was in that moment. I got to be fully present because I wasn't worried about money.
Right.
Because the old me who was scared and penny pinching and, wouldn't spend $1 or couldn't save it, like she was gone. Right.
That's deep.
The me who was afraid to get to know God because I was always worried about what he would take from me. I had spent the last 3 to 4 years really getting to know who he was. So in that moment, I felt scripture become my life. The me who always wish, how people think like, oh, one day I'm gonna give my mama this, one day I'm gonna do that. Well,
you already did it.
Anything my mama wanted, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she didn't want for much, but anything she thought she wanted, like I remember maybe a month before she passed, I was on the phone with her and she's like, oh, I kind of got a taste for something sweet, but I don't know what I want. And I'm just talking to her, and as I'm talking to her, I'm like scrolling Uber Eats, ordered a banana pudding, right? And then like literally as soon as we hung up, that because we haven't been on the phone for an hour,
right.
The banana pudding was at the door, and she was like, "Little girl." So what I would say. So what's funny is going back to my previous self. I don't think that I would say anything different. But what I'm struggling with is my future self.
Ooh.
Right?
Why?
Because I've changed. That experience, the past couple months, like what mattered to me before that, it just looks different. And I'm not gonna say I'm wrestling with God, but I'm Miss Do is scared. Not even that I'm scared, but I'm hesitant to push the go button. So for me, it's not so much my 6-month-old self, but it's my future self I need to just say, okay, it's not the time to get comfortable.
And what's important about what you said is you don't always have to go back into your past and try to pick things out to find out what could I have changed or done different. Sometimes you just gotta let stuff go.
It's not meant to be changed. It's not, because if you really think about it, we wouldn't be the women we are if we didn't go through those certain things. Yes. Like if we would have went back and changed, ain't no telling what I would have done. If I go back and change.
Look, and that's the thing, is like, I don't want to go back and change. Even as much as some of those scenarios
as hard as it was. I just wish I had a little bit more confidence. And not even confidence in self.
Yeah.
You know, like confidence in knowing, like the part of me right now that I know, which I always knew, like I've always, the way I grew up with my siblings passing away, I've been able to see God both ways. For a long time, I only knew him to be a clutch God, meaning that when the funeral swanging, the choir singing, you gonna be clutch. But then in doing it scared, I've got to know him to be an abundant God, right? Abundance is, and that I'm not just even talking in terms of finances. I'm talking in terms of community, in terms of opportunities, in terms of a marriage that I really, you know, that really works. It's not perfect, but to know that he is an abundant God. And now I'm kind of stagnant, and I need to remind myself that he is that still, and I need to go.
Yeah, that's good. And I think that's one of the things that when you work for corporate America, you're working towards someone else's goal.
Yep.
And I always tell people, you know, your company CEO can get a bigger house and a better car because of your work. But at the end of the day, can you go on the drop of a dime and go see your family because something happened?
Yeah.
Can you say, I'm going to take this whole week off, I'm going to take a month off? You can't, because that guy still needs you to work because he's got bills to pay. He's got a family he wants to take on vacation. So when you start thinking about being an entrepreneur, you have to realize that if it's in you, if it's a drive that keeps pulling you to do it, just do it. The worst that can happen is you'll be successful.
Yeah.
And if you are marginally successful, if you do it, if you partner with God, that was one of the big, if I could tell myself, girl, partner with God, it would be different. I didn't do that. He almost drowned me a couple of weeks ago. I ain't gonna talk about that. Lord, I forget. Thank you, Lord. But they saw the video. I ain't even gonna say that. But it's one of those things where if I could tell myself to partner with him in those moments, then my path would be clear. I would be okay. But I was trying to do everything myself. I was trying to be like, I want to be like her. What can I do to be like her?
And I was like, Shelyna, no, we're not. How many times I told her, like, Shelyna, no, we're not. We're not
almost
doing
every
that.
Other day. We're like, the way you dress, the way you walk, the way you talk, even the way you interact with people sometimes. You try to adapt to them versus just be who you are.
Just be who you are. Because, look, it's hard enough to show up as yourself.
Yes.
Let alone trying to show up.
Well, and you don't have a choice. Like, you know, it's like you need to show up as yourself. Because God woke you up that day to show up as yourself.
Right.
Nobody else.
Like
trying to remember who somebody else
trying
is.
To be somebody else. He's like, I created Rosemary to be Rosemary, not to be an incarnation of you. Like, what are you doing? That's not your lane. And so I think sometimes when people see you on social media, they see what they want to be, but they don't want the past. They don't want the track record.
Nor do I want their track record. Like it all look good. Like, oh, girl, I was like, you deserve that body because
what's she doing? What is she?
I can't even remember who it was. Oh, I know who it is. It's my friend Amelia Lingerfeld. I'm gonna show y'all her picture. Hey Amelia, she's the Eagle Talk watcher.
Hey.
It's my friend Amelia, and she just doesn't have an appetite. So not starving herself. She just doesn't have appetite, and she really can be like, "And I'm done. I've had enough."
That's discipline.
Yeah,
that is discipline.
And I'm like, you deserve. I tell all the time, you deserve your body.
Girl, I could write a book to my younger self, because if I could tell myself to get control of your emotions and be disciplined, maybe we wouldn't have gone to jail that time. No, we're not gonna talk about that. No. I'm just kidding.
Well, y'all, this was amazing. Can
Yes,
y'all
thank
look in the
you.
chat? Just give a hand clap for my
Send up the
realtor
hearts,
friends.
share
Yes.
it, like it,
Yeah, the
comment.
hearts, the hearts.
Yes, we're so
Yes.
excited, and we look. And I wanted you all to let us know. Please share this episode. We thought it was for young people, but obviously it's for middle-aged chicks too.
It really is. Yes. Because the young people ain't gonna know.
I'm young.
Oh, okay, young at heart.
Yes.
I mean, we're not old.
Yeah, we're not old, but you know we're
Yes.
we're a little more seasoned.
Look, share this with somebody who don't think they need it.
Who don't think they
There
need
you
it.
go.
Yes.
There you go.
And I'm so grateful for these friends. I'm so grateful that when I slid into your DMs, you were the bridge to help this connection. And y'all, all I can say is collaboration over competition.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
because
Amen.
Yep.
y'all have been blessings in my life. You're blessed in the Eagle Talk community, and we can't wait to have you back.
Yes. All right, Eagle Talk. I love you guys. This is so awesome. Thank
Love you too.
Thank
Thank you.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.